Hey guys, Jason from Megahead Studios and from my blog, The Place That Has No Name. What you see before you are the Star Wars Command miniatures, quote unquote, on the miniature part. Basically, I'm making this because I had a couple of requests after seeing my pictures on the Facebook page for 15mm sci-fi gaming for scale references. Okay, so this is basically just one of each ship that comes available in the Star Wars Command sets. I also have, as you can see, Mace Windu, a Scout Trooper, and an Ewok. Okay, so this is going to be both for my 35mm friends and my 15mm friends who want to get their Star Wars gaming on. Okay, so first let me say, with Mace Windu and the Ewok, you can see how they're kind of shiny. I tried to use Krylon Duo Color, the primer / paint, and as you see, it didn't work out very well. Don't like it at all. Could just be a result of my climate zone. You may have better luck on your own. Couldn't tell you until you try it for yourself. The Scout Trooper was just primed with Krylon white, flat white, as was the Republic gunship. Okay, so as you can see right away, there's no scale for these things as far as being able to play with them if you want to do one combined miniature game. If you want them for an RPG, just for placement, hey, they're going to work great. They're going to be awesome. Okay. So let me just give you some quick comparisons here as well as showing off the ships. Okay, so obviously, X-Wing Snowspeeder Republic gunship in frame. Okay, this is a Coruscant Vitro Trooper, which we all know what it's supposed to be. Okay, and then we have our standard Space Marine from a Grimdark Future. So we all know the scale of the Space Marine. There's a scale of your average figure in Star Wars Command. Again, if you want to use it for miniature gaming, I mean, I'm sure you can still find the old West End Games Star Wars Miniatures rule set, or even the Wizards of the Coast version. I'm not sure if you want to use them. Personally, I plan to use these for my Star Wars RPG game. Okay. So anyway, now since this has turned out to be a Star Wars themed video, so there's the Coruscant Vitro Trooper, just for scale comparison. ACP Games Port Reliant Merc. See, he's kind of larger. This is more of what I'm used to. And then I'm hoping my screen will fit this. This is from the Rangers project. Came with that really sweet salamander that a lot of people seem to be having an issue getting their parts for. Okay, so I'm holding it kind of close to the camera, but to give you a decent size comparison, there you go. He is really, really thin. However, I do plan to use him for Star Wars gaming as a Rebel Trooper. Okay, and oops. And there he is. If he were to stand on the base, yeah, he's tiny. Very, very small. But the detail is really good. I'm hoping the camera picks this up. Okay. And that's just one of the 30 that I've received. Now, I'll start off with him in reference to the scale. So, this tank, possibly he could be a single-seated in there. Maybe. With the ATTP, yeah, he could definitely fit in that. The Scout Walker, for sure. AT-AT, he'd be sitting in the whole cockpit, which wouldn't really be fun. He'd get destroyed like really quick. And there's a Star Wars Command Millennium Falcon. Obviously, he's too big. So if he's too big, well, maybe it's a single-seater heavy gunship, perhaps. But the molding on this thing sucks. As you can see, the radar dish is just there. And I'm not that well versed in kit bashing, so I'm not even going to attempt to fix it. And this is my kids anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so enough of that. Okay, so in reference, I posted up pictures of these earlier. With the Vitro Trooper, quite possibly could fit. Actually, let me get a different one. Okay. And I think that's supposed to be a female Vitro Trooper. I'm not entirely certain, but the chest armor would suggest that. Could possibly fit in there. possibly. It'd be a super tight squeeze. ATTP. Again, tight squeeze, but he could possibly fit in there. Scout Walker, yes. Again, maybe if he was laying down, who knows? And again, just maybe one pilot instead of the 4 that would go in there normally. Okay, so moving these aside real quick. If you're looking to use Star Wars Command for the X-Wing Miniatures game, don't bother. These are just way too big. And as you can see, this is the TIE Advance X1, I believe, is what it's called, from Star Wars Rebels. Standard TIE Fighter. This is the way it came out of the package, all wonky, so I'm going to have to heat strip it. The fins on here look really good, as does these, but as you can see, the X1's cockpit, ball cockpit, and this one, big difference in sizes. This has not been primed. This just came straight out of the package just like that. Okay? Alright, so let's see. As far as vehicle comparisons, ACP Games Bulldog Jet Bike in comparison to this. You know, I mean, it looks pretty decent. I mean, this could definitely be used on the battlefield. Like I said, perhaps just one crew, maybe 2 at the most, firing the booty gun, as I call them. Okay. Compared to the Scout Walker, yeah, it definitely looks nice. Definitely would dig that. And compared to, yeah, I mean, definitely they could go side by side. They would look great, and this is just my opinion, of course. Okay. The X-Wing, again, straight out of the package. You're definitely gonna have to fix that. The details aren't too bad on that. No detail on the R2 unit, astromech, but it's got everything you pretty much need. And then in comparison with a Vitro Trooper, oops, yeah, I'm trying to do this in a rush, y'all. Just bear with me, please. Okay. It'd be a super tight squeeze if you were to sit in there. Nothing like in the movie. Okay. So we have that snow speeder. Yep, everything's just falling around. Good thing those are made of cheap plastic. Well, at least a type of plastic. I don't know what it is. Okay, so Vitro Trooper. And my phone does not want to go in focus. I think you get the scale here. You could possibly fit 1 or 2 in here to recreate the Battle of Hoth. Not bad. Okay, so this is a big transport ship. This is the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. Obviously. Maybe as a drone. I'm not quite sure. This is supposed to be an escape pod right here. That is obviously not big enough for this individual to fit in. Maybe his head. If they have cryogenics in Star Wars, I don't know. I'm sure they do. Why wouldn't they? I mean, overall, it's a nice ship if you want to use it for some type of fleet battle, space fleet battles, like Valkyrie Space. You know, just name dropping that for ACP Games from my brother from another mother. Yeah, that's pretty decent. And I can't remember what this is called on Rebels. As much as a Star Wars geek as I am, I honestly can't recall the name at this moment in time. But yeah, definitely can fit one of these Vitro Troopers in here quite easily. So probably a quick troop transport, maybe 5 to 6 troops in and out the rear hatch. It'd be pretty cool. It's got a top turret gun, of course, the forward firing lasers, or you can use them as torpedoes, whatever you want. It's your game. Okay, and let's see what else we have here. Let me show you these in comparison to something else. Please hold. Alright, so here we have the Hero Series Millennium Falcon that I posted up a couple months back that I got. If you really want one, look at Walmart, Target, and other larger retailers. Many of these places have these suckers on sale for 15 bucks in the clearance section. So keep an eye out for them. I mean, they're awesome. Studio scale, beautiful. And there's a gentleman on Shapeways who's selling the kits to place greeblies right here along the fins to fill them out instead of using those stickers that come with it. But anyway, just wanted to show you scale reference again. And we have the brown is a random Jedi battle droid in the center, and Commander Luke Skywalker over there. Again, Veto Troopers in front just for scale references. These guys might work with this hero scale ship, but I mean, this thing is a beast, to say the least. Basically becomes a static prop on your gaming table. And just for more scale references, TIE Fighter, Scout Walker, and the Snowspeeder. Nowhere near the size that they should be, obviously, but you get the picture. So yeah, I think, you know, make what you will of it. Okay, so this is a new set that just came out of Star Wars Command Desert Escape. I only found 2 of these at work today, and as you can see, there's a specific reason why I got it. Yeah, it's for the Boba Fett. It's the Jango Fett I gave it to my good friend Brandon because he needed one for my Star Wars RPG game, or rather for the campaign. But Boba, he looks pretty decent, not as detailed as I'd like him to be, but for 10 bucks for this set, yeah, you're not going to beat it. And it comes with the XP38 speeder, which I honestly think would be great for 15mm gaming, not so much for 28mm or larger. It certainly doesn't fit the scale for the Star Wars Command figures themselves. With this set comes with Solo, Boba Fett, Chewbacca, 3 Sand Troopers, Stormtroopers, depending what environment they're in, the XP38, a TIE Fighter, and R2 and 3PO. Looks pretty cool. I like them. I really can't wait to get started on these, to repaint them. And then another set that recently came out, I'm not sure if anybody's really aware of it, because they're really hard to find, is the Clone Trooper set, Clone Trooper Clash. Comes with Captain Rex and 8 other troopers. It's not a bad deal. It's definitely a great troop builder if you want to do a Clone Wars campaign, or Revenge of the Sith, or Attack of the Clones, anywhere during that. I honestly like them. I really like them. So yeah, you have those. And then, just on a whim, I decided to get the Revell Snap Tight TIE Interceptor. The only reason I got it was on clearance at work for 5 bucks. Otherwise, I wouldn't pay $10 for this thing, to be honest with you. But again, this is for my Star Wars RPG campaign, and as you can see, that guy would work perfectly in that ball cockpit, no problem. And I don't know where my Ranger went to. Where's the Ranger? There's the Ranger. You're going to end up seeing the backside of him just because of the way the sprue is. Yeah, definitely would fit. Not a problem. It will actually work really well with this. Okay, so that's about it for me today. Then wasn't really intending to make a Star Wars video, but it ended up being that way. I have a lot of stuff to work on, and I promise, like I've been promising before, but this time I really mean it, I'm going to try to make at least 1 video a week. If you have anything you want to hear more about, just comment in the links below, or in the comments section below, and I will try to get to it as soon as possible. Otherwise, next up is probably going to be a Gundam Grimoire from Gundam Reconstituja NG. I know I totally sloshed that up, but yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to do a straight assembly of that. I'm not going to do the custom because the weather is not allowing for any type of painting at all in my area. Alright guys, thanks. Have a good one. Hope to hear from you. Comment, please.